failed there. I failed.
I was only able to hear about 80% of that.
I got super triggered at the
You
end.
did?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I definitely want to watch that then.
Yeah. I said the chart can go fuck itself.
Oh, shit.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey. Are either of you next?
Yeah.
Oh, yay.
Welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Thank you so much. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good, good. Sweet. And how was your hike? Did you just finish one?
We did just finish it.
Sweet, sweet.
We took the easy route today.
The easy one is that the left side or
The right.
oh, the right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Yeah, check. Can you hear me okay?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, use a cool vibe record and live stream and stuff.
Of course.
Thank you. All right, so do you know what we're doing here today? You kind of listened into earlier before.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to practice this way of having a conversation called street epistemology.
Mm-hmm.
You can reset that to the middle. We'll get to that in a minute. Street epistemology is just a way of having conversations that's not heated. That's a more Socratic questioning style where we let someone bring a claim to us and we keep our opinions out of it unless people ask us. And help them think through the claim, what it is, clarify it, and why they potentially believe it.
Yeah.
And if those reasons are good reasons, and if there's potentially a way to tell one way or the other if this thing is true or not.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of get into it like that. Does that sound interesting? Something to do?
It does.
All right, cool. Did I get your first name?
My name's Eric.
Eric.
E-R-I-C.
Gotcha. My name is Reed. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Mhm.
Nice to meet you.
Want me to wear a mask?
I
can.
mean, honestly, I'm protected, so
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
it's up to you.
Okay, cool. Sweet. So did you want to talk about one of the topics there or something
Yeah,
else?
I saw you guys have one that says blank is the most important current issue.
Yes.
I want to argue that spirituality is the most important current issue.
Humans, like spirituality?
Just spirituality, new levels of consciousness, things of that nature.
Okay. Spirituality is the most important issue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What is spirituality?
Yeah, okay. So I think there's a common misconception that spirituality is all about like crystals, and it's very monetized right now. At least personally, I feel like that. But it's more about like sitting with yourself and understanding emotion on a different consciousness, understanding emotion on like a vibrational level versus anything that you can like control. It's really about release and control versus money, or like I have this, therefore this will happen to me, or like I bought this or I practiced this, therefore this will happen to me. It's more about like just a blind faith and like a vibrational frequency.
Okay. Let me make sure I'm getting that right. It's about helping you be like a better person in like the broadest sense.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to describe because it's so individual to every single person. So like your version of spirituality is going to be different than my version of spirituality, different than his, different than my friends. You know, it all comes at different times, and it's all dependent on like what you've been through. So it's kind of hard to label what it is other than like vibrational frequencies that can unlock just different things for you like in this world.
Okay, so if you're in line with your vibrational frequency, good things will more likely happen to you in life.
Yes, or things will happen to you that align you on the path where you're just meant to be the most happy version of yourself. And not even most happy, because I feel like happiness is an emotion that comes and goes. Just your most authentic, your most peaceful self.
So lots of benefits if you have a good spirituality, you'll have a lot of good benefits in your life.
Yeah, you'll just feel at peace, you know, moving through whatever it is. If you're angry, you'll still have that inner peace. If you're sad, you'll still have that inner peace. And even if you're happy, you're still gonna have that inner peace. You know, like emotions come and go. I feel like everyone tries to say that happiness is something that you can like obtain.
Mm-hmm.
And to an extent, I think it is. But, you know, it's part of the human experience to experience emotions at different times. And sometimes you're going to wake up and you're going to be sad. Or sometimes you're going to experience grief or loss, you know. And I think often humans, sorry, my train of thought kind of went out on me.
That's cool.
But I think often humans kind of like they think that the grass is greener if you work hard enough, or if you have a certain amount of things, when in reality your grass can be green regardless, and you could still be working towards those things while your grass is green. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you don't want to pursue material gain in order to obtain happiness. Happiness and peace is available at this moment.
Yes.
Is that type of thing?
Yeah, but also material gain is like, I feel like natural too. You know?
Yeah, it helps, but
Yeah.
it's like it's not necessary to have material gain to be happy and at peace.
But I would argue that sometimes it is.
But maybe it's sufficient. Is just being without material gain, having a good spirituality is a sufficient enough level of that to be satisfied in life.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, but I think if we bring astrology into the mix, that's where things like I wouldn't agree, because I know that if I have Scorpio placements, then I want like luxury. I want like a lot of shit. Can I cuss? Is that cool?
Sure.
I want like a lot of shit. You know, like I want there to be like, I want my space to be filled. Like I'm a maximist. I'm not a minimalist.
Okay.
So
if like astrologers assign you Scorpio, sometimes it's not Scorpio.
well, no, it's not if you're assigned Scorpio. So basically, like everyone has a birth chart. So where you're born, the exact degree, the time you were born, and just like all of it determines your entire chart.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have Scorpio placements, say like my rising is in Scorpio, I'm naturally going to be more materialistic than other people who don't have that placement. You know what I'm saying?
Because of where you were and when you were born, you're
Yes.
going to have different personality.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's another whole other topic.
We could honestly talk about astrology if you want to.
Okay. I mean, that does seem more testable and concrete. This
Because
astrology
I could
stuff.
really get into it with astrology if you want to just start there. Because it kind of all relates.
Yeah.
The frequencies is a bit higher level. It's a bit more philosophical, but astrology is more concrete for sure.
Okay. We can talk about, is astrology true?
Okay.
As a
Okay.
question. And,
Yeah.
and what do you mean by astrology?
Okay, so astrology is true. I'm gonna argue that, and I think that, I mean, at least in my life, regardless of whether or not you believe it, it's true to me. So astrology is true. The problem is that so many people don't think it's true because of specific things that they know about astrology. So like everyone knows their sun sign, right? That's like your birthday. So when is your birthday?
May 18th.
May 18th. Taurus?
Is that right?
Is
Okay.
May 18th Taurus?
I think
Happy
so.
birthday.
I think so. That's right.
Happy birthday.
Oh, it's coming up soon.
It's
yeah.
coming up.
Yeah. Mhm.
So you're very like, Taurus are known for being like stubborn.
Yeah, now that you know that fact about when I was born,
Mhm.
are you more likely to assign me different personality types?
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's not assign you personality
Or-
traits. It's more I'm gonna be thinking about certain things.
Infer.
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna be
personality
like,
traits.
okay, really what it does is it helps me communicate better with you. So
Yeah, does it?
yeah, so astrology,
Okay.
at least when it works on my end, is it will help me communicate better with you knowing that you're a Taurus. So like now that I know you're a Taurus man, I know that you're not going to give me nearly half of the energetic reciprocation or emotional reciprocation. You're not going to get like excited about things when we're talking. You're going to be very just like mellow. You're going to be very mellow, very chill. And now that I know that about you, I'm not going to expect you to be a certain way or to reciprocate me the way that I need to be reciprocated because you're a Taurus man.
But okay, so you're now describing certain personality traits that may be connected with people who were born in May and like or just
People
around in that
with
period.
men who have a sun sign in Taurus.
Okay.
So if we get deeper, if you were able to give me the time that you were born, I could pull up your birth chart and I could tell you about your life based on your birth chart. I could tell you the career that's gonna make you the most happy. I could tell you your biggest insecurity or like your biggest trauma that you've been dealing with. I could tell you about how the way that your brain works. I could tell you about how you communicate with the earth. I could tell you about how people perceive your energy.
This is what astrology claims it can do.
This is what it claims it can do, yes.
Yeah, is that true?
I think it is,
Okay.
yeah.
And astrology is the ability to pick up these differences in people and like tell based on when they're born
Mhm.
down to like the minute
It's down to the minute.
Yeah.
So it changes every 4 minutes.
It changes every 4 minutes.
Every 4 minutes, and you have to be in the exact, like, you have to know the exact point on the earth, on the globe, where you were born for it to be the most accurate. Sorry, I say I say it weird, but
It depends on where you are on the globe, because time is different in different parts of the globe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, what's the astrology, like, time zone? Is there a time zone in particular?
You know, I really don't know about the time zones. I really just think it depends on where you're born.
Just
So,
whatever.
you go by the time zone that you were born in.
Just whatever the local country's time zone,
Yeah,
whatever they
yeah.
say the time is, that's what astrology goes by.
Well, that's what else were you going to go by? You know, like,
Mhm.
astrology can be interpreted as a clock. So, I don't know if you've heard of, like, the Age of Aquarius.
Maybe.
So Age of Aquarius is the new wave. That's kind of why things feel so politically charged as of late. We're all collectively questioning ideas. We're all thinking of new and better ways to implement just like social practice and just like social ideology. All of that is coming because the Age of Capricorn is like on its way out. So Capricorn is all about working hard for your money. So if you can tie corporate capitalism with Capricorn, kind of makes it a bit easier. Things are kind of shifting. Age of Aquarius is coming in. The year after Aquarius is Pisces. It's not necessarily going to be next year, but the next era is going to be the Pisces era, which is all about taking these ideas and implementing them and creating new realities.
Okay, that's another tangent we could go down to.
Yeah.
So for astrology, just in general,
It runs deep.
what's
It
a
runs
way
deep.
to like put astrology on like a tweet size? If you could clarify, and rather than saying astrology,
Just what it is.
what is astrology, like tweet size?
Honestly, I think it's a science. I think it's a science, and I think it's a
Just
it's a
people's
science that combines faith and practicality.
a science that combines faith and practicality.
Yeah, it's I think honestly one of the few that does.
But how does that science combining faith and practicality relate to people when they were born?
Because everyone has their own personal birth chart. So the way that you operate in this world is going to be different from the way I operate in this world. Right?
Okay. Let me try to find. How about this? Was your personality influenced by the location of any celestial objects when you were born?
Celestial objects?
Stars, yeah. Star
Yes.
signs.
By planets, yeah.
Yeah, like it's like the relationship between where the stars are and when you're born, and that relationship.
Yeah.
Is that what astrology claims is super central and important for people?
You know, there's different levels to it. And I think if you look at it on a wider scale, that's what would make it important to you. I think that's why you're like focused on it, is that would make it important to you, right?
I'm just wondering what's the mechanism for causing people to be different personalities.
So it would be planetary alignment, so just like where Saturn is when you were born, and the relation between Saturn and like literally where you were born.
Yeah, it's like, how does the star's location and when we're born relate to our personalities?
Well, so let's talk about like planets, right?
Yeah.
Saturn, Mercury, each planet rules a different thing. So Mercury rules communication.
Is that true?
I mean, honestly, I believe it is, yeah. So like right now, Mercury is in Gemini, so everyone has been feeling very like kind of like talkative. Everyone wants to kind of argue and break things down, and that's as a collective. So like these planets can rule things as a collective.
How does the planets relate to us being talkative?
So that's right. Okay, so you have to think about things a bit
How
abstract.
does that cause us to be different?
So if Mercury, the planet of communication, enters Gemini,
I'm confused. How did Mercury become the planet of communication?
that's just like that's the science. That's the science part. Like that's just something that we believe to be true.
That's a claim. Why is that true?
I mean, I can't like prove that it's true because it's a metaphysical thing. But if I believe it to be true,
What do you mean, metaphysical thing?
well, I mean, how can you prove that? You know, you can't prove that Mercury is the planet of communication.
I don't think I have reason to believe planets have anything to do with humans' personalities or like communication. They're planets. They're just like chemistry and bodies of mass floating around in space far away. If they weren't even there, we probably wouldn't even notice it. I don't even understand how this relates just to human personalities.
I mean, it can help you. It helped me unlock things, helped me understand people better. That's like how it has helped me. I don't really know how it could help you, or if you are just at a point where you feel like it couldn't.
I'd love to be able to understand people better. And if there is some causal relationship between planets and human personalities, I'd like to be able to predict who I'm talking to and how to have a better relationship with people.
Yeah. Okay.
So how could we tell if this was actually true, that the planets have, and when we're born, have anything to do with our personalities?
I mean, like, how would you? Like, what would you need?
Let's brainstorm ways to be able to test this.
Okay, we could talk about ancient culture.
What do you mean?
We could talk about how Greek gods or different ancient Egyptian gods have connection to specific planets. And we could talk about what those gods represent to large communities. And we could talk about all the things that they did to worship those specific gods for these specific things.
Are these gods real and true?
You can't prove that any god is real or true.
What do you mean?
You can't prove that Jesus is real or true. You can't prove that the Bible is real or true. People are still going to take that and think it's true.
Should we believe things because people say they whatever?
I think people should believe in whatever they think makes life easier for them. Whatever they think that life, or whatever belief system that brings them the most peace, that's what people should believe in. Or it's really a personal thing. It's an individual thing.
Yeah, and you also said something about true for me earlier.
Yeah.
And people should just believe whatever brings them the most peace?
Why not?
This is a question to talk about. What is truth?
What is peace? Because I think if you're asking,
the
question before was, should everyone believe that what it is makes them peaceful is true? Why not?
Yeah.
If everyone is living in their own version of peace, why does it matter? Why does it matter what you're doing and what I'm doing? If I'm peaceful and you're peaceful, why does it matter?
Yeah, I guess it depends on what we mean by true, and if we even care about what's true.
Why do we have to define truth?
Why do we have to define truth?
Mm-hmm. If I'm peaceful and you're peaceful.
Well, there is difference between people claiming things are the case and actually things being the case. There's a difference there, potentially?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like gods existing and stuff.
Do you feel like I projected anything of what I've been saying onto you or your life this whole time?
I think you ascribe to me certain personality traits.
Okay, true. And have I been wrong? Have I been wrong, though? As a Taurus man, you completely not wanting to let in this other ideology, or at least you maybe not completely letting it in, but you're very just chill, don't really care, not really giving emotions, and kind of stubborn. Those are typical traits of a Taurus man, and that's just surface level. That's just surface level. So if I knew your moon sign, or if I knew all these other things, I'm sure I could tell you a bunch of other shit about yourself too. But from what you gave me, this is the thing that I have, and so far it's true.
So far it's true.
So far it's true. At least to me, in my perception. What I'm experiencing with you right now is true to me.
What would I need to be like in order to disconfirm that I'm a Taurus? Or that astrology is even a thing to even care
There's
about?
no way that you could, because I haven't seen your birth chart.
How would I need to be different in order for astrology to be falsely attributing personality traits to me?
I don't think astrology can falsely attribute personality traits, because everything can be interpreted differently. There's a shadow and there's a light.
There's no false test result for astrology assignments of personality?
Honestly, I don't think there is.
Then how do we tell if it's actually accurate? If everything confirms, no matter what people are like, it can just assign people certain things?
Why would you have to label it as something that's accurate? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. Like,
this
why
gets
would
back
you have
to the question of truth.
Yeah, like, what's the purpose? Like, because...
I got this thing here, like some Tic Tacs.
Yeah, science is a tool. If we look at astrology as a tool, right?
A tool for what?
Faith is a tool. All these things, they're all tools. They're not...
To understand people?
To understand people. Like I said, it helps me communicate with people better. It helps me understand people better.
Is it the best way to do that?
Honestly, if it works for me, it works for me. If it helps me not internalize things in my everyday life,
what do you mean
then
by
it works for me. So, if I have abandonment issues or communication issues, right? that relates to trauma that I've experienced in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And astrology helps me understand that some people work a specific way. It will help me separate my trauma from the way that I'm communicating with people in my life, right? It'll help me separate those things from trauma and what's just natural to somebody.
What do you mean?
So like, let's say I have abandonment issues, right?
Uh-huh.
And there's this person and they're acting a certain way that are triggering my abandonment issues.
Okay.
So now I'm in my head thinking that this is just the same thing playing over, right?
Okay.
Now, if I have astrology and astrology helps me understand, like, actually this person is just gonna be like this, or this is just how this person's gonna be naturally, it helps me separate my trauma from that person to look at my trauma as one thing, in turn healing myself. So regardless of what it does for the collective, or regardless of what astrology does for you, astrology is going to help me in the way that astrology needs to help me. You know, like, it's an individual thing. And it goes back to spirituality. Spirituality is an individual thing.
Astrology claims that people are naturally
People can be naturally
evil?
no.
Or just
no.
bad?
No. So it's not. Trauma is projected, right? So if I'm
Okay.
projecting my abandonment issues onto those people, that's all I'm going to feel from them. But if I can learn about their chart and learn, like, oh, he's a Taurus man, he's just going to be stubborn and questioning me the whole time,
Uh-huh.
then it's like, I'm not going to take anything that you're doing right now to heart, because that's just who you are.
Oh, I have no control over my personality. I'm determined by the star relationships in
I
my
think
birth.
some things in your core can be.
Okay.
You can change yourself, and you can be who you want to be with any single person. You can change yourself with him, you can change yourself when you're talking to him, you can change yourself when talking to me.
So people have
But at
like
the end of the day, you could have, when you're just sitting in your most natural state and you're just core, you're just here.
the authentic natural state is
Yeah.
what astrology describes, but
Mhm.
people can change from their natural state.
I think to an extent. I don't
To an
think that you
extent.
can change in any way that's gonna make you not a Taurus man. Because I think that you're just always gonna have those attributes.
And those attributes come from where? How do we know what attributes relate to what?
Well, that's when you have to get into the birth
Sign.
chart. So you have to read into the birth chart. You have to.
Who made the birth charts and where did the information from the birth charts come from?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I just know that I have my resources that I use, that I trust,
Why do you trust them?
because they're true to me, because I've read about myself and I've been that critic when I did it all those years ago. And now I'm understanding how my birth chart affects me and how my birth chart makes me special and unique. And I can take that and share that knowledge with other people to show them how they're special and unique.
Can people have their own truth?
100%. Everyone has their own truth.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Astrology,
for example, with
Yeah,
some
go ahead.
Tic Tacs,
Go ahead.
let's say there's hypothetically either an even or odd number of Tic Tacs in here,
Mhm.
and we counted and said it's even, we're very sure.
Mhm.
And then someone else comes up to the table and says, man, I think there's an odd number here.
Mhm.
Is anyone in this situation mistaken? Or
No.
could we all be right? Could we all have our own truth about the number of Tic Tacs in here?
Well, I mean, if you've been watching it, I guess if you kept it in your pocket knowing that it has been even, sure.
Yeah. If the person who came up and said it's odd said it's my truth that there's an odd number of Tic Tacs in here, but we think it's even, is there a way
But I don't
to
think that
resolve
I don't
this
think that
conflict?
analogy applies, because I don't think anyone would do that over a thing of Tic Tacs. You know what I'm saying? Like we really have to be practical. Like, yeah, you can pull your analogies, but is anyone going to come to the table and really sit here and argue like it's my truth that that's happening?
You should, well,
I mean,
you can-
I don't
you
like,
can check
because
out my
someone could
videos.
come up and someone could be like, someone could have ate something out of there. Someone could have had one.
The
right?
number could have been different.
I wouldn't know. Would you know? If you kept it in your pocket the whole time, you would know.
It's just either the case, it's either even or odd right now, and someone's mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a way to tell about, is that a good way to think about truth?
No.
What is a good way to think about
No,
truth?
I think if you use this analogy, that establishes an uneven power balance, because you know something to be true that someone else is just going to come up and they're going to have to figure it out. So,
Okay.
if in that analogy you hold power because those are your Tic Tacs and you know
Yeah.
the answer.
The way to resolve
Someone
it is,
else could just walk up and then you could be like, oh, I know this thing to be true, what do you think? And then they can be arguing their truth, but at the end of the day, you still hold that power, right?
Yeah, that is a kind of power, knowing the case, because we've tested
So
it.
do you think power imbalance makes truth? Because of that's your ideology, right? If you have this thing and you hold power over that, therefore it must be true.
I think the power comes from the investigation.
Okay.
And the results from the investigation.
Okay.
That anyone could do if they wanted to investigate.
Okay.
And then they could have the power of the truth.
Okay.
And I'd love to understand how we could investigate astrology in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can test the number of Tic Tacs by counting.
Yeah.
What's a good way to investigate astrology about it being the case?
I could read your birth chart, but all that would depend on whether or not you would be open to being true and intimate. That's all that it would depend on. Because I could tell you all these things and you could still sit there and be like, no, that's not true, because you could have blockages, you could have trauma in your life that prevent you from seeing that version of yourself.
What would it mean for astrology not to be true? How would the world need to be different? Hypothetically.
I think people would have to learn to separate emotion from their physical being, from their human body. I think people have to learn to separate what you're feeling on the inside versus your physical body.
How does that relate to astrology being true or not?
Because you just asked, I think, what the world would have to do to be able to accept something like astrology.
No.
Really,
what would the world need to look like in order for astrology to be false?
To be false.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't believe astrology to be false, so I don't know. I don't know what that would look like.
Feel free to use your imagination. How would the world need to look different? How would the world need to be completely different in order for astrology to be false?
We would all have to be buying into dogma. We would all have to be buying into one collective belief that everyone just accepts to be true.
We'd all have to buy into one dogma?
To a dogmatic belief system, yes.
How does that relate to stars and when you're born and stuff?
But that's the point. You're asking me what the world would have to look like for astrology to be false.
Yeah.
We would all have to collectively believe in one thing that is not astrology.
We'd all have to believe in something else that's not astrology?
Yes. So we would all have to believe in one way of knowing.
Could we just be believing astrology is false, but be mistaken and actually it is true? What would make it reasonable to think that astrology is false if we've found that thing?
I see what you're saying. I honestly don't think there is anything. I really don't think that there is anything that could disprove the knowledge that astrology has, because the problem, or I don't want to say it's a problem, I think it's just a consciousness. I think everyone looks at astrology as one thing. I think, and even you look at astrology as one thing. Like, how could the planets, how could these balls of gas affect my personality? How could things affect my personality? Whatever.
Yeah.
How does it affect me?
Yeah.
But what the collective doesn't realize is there's so many layers to astrology that even you believing that is you blocking yourself from all these other things that it could help you with. All it is a tool. It's not a belief system. It's not anything. It's a tool to help you learn more about yourself, to help you learn more about what makes you feel good when you go home at night, what makes you sleep better, all these things. It helps you understand your dreams. It helps you understand like your true passions outside of projected trauma. It could be projected trauma from your family, projected trauma from your neighbors, all these things. It really helps you sit with your core. And I see how you could say like, you would never know that to be true. But if you resonate with what your birth chart tells you, then it's true to you.
That's what I'm hearing you say. It claims a bunch of things. And if you believe those things to be the case, then that could potentially help you as a tool in your life.
Yeah.
And one way to test the potential claims that it's making is the way it resonates with you.
Yes.
If it resonates good, it's true. If it resonates well with you, then you can use it as a tool to do stuff in your life.
No, I would say, yeah.
Is whatever resonates with you a good way to tell if something is the case
I
or
think
not?
discernment is really important.
What do you mean?
Discernment is being able to tell, that's not for me, this is for me. That's not for me, this is for me. I do believe that, 100%. I do believe that you have the power to create your own reality, 100%.
Okay, so let's say we find a chart and it claims something about me, and I discern something about the chart, does that how does that relate to the
Yeah, because
actually-
I could interpret your chart differently than how you would interpret your chart.
Okay.
So why would you put all of your faith in me to tell you about yourself when I'm just trying to give you the tools to tell you about you, so you could tell yourself about yourself?
If you interpreted it as something is like X, and I interpret it as not X, could that be the case?
Yeah,
Like
because
with
it doesn't matter to me.
Like with the Tic Tacs, like even or odd.
Yeah.
If you interpret something from my chart as the case, and I interpret it as absolutely not the case, how does that make astrology reliable to find out about ourselves?
it doesn't matter to me whether or not that resonates with you. There's so many other things that could be in the way that I know nothing about you. I know nothing about your life. I know nothing about your experiences. So for you to reject something that I believe in is not going to make me reject what I believe in because I believe in it.
Yep.
It helped me. You know what I'm saying?
Just because you merely attribute that it helps you to it being to astrology, does that make it true? And should we believe things because they feel? Should we believe things because they bring us peace?
I think What is it hurting? Like does it give me an example where someone just minding their own business and being in their peace is gonna hurt the collective or hurt?
I want to have accurate information about people's personalities.
Why do you need to have accurate information about my personality?
So I can have a better relationship with you potentially.
Okay, so if
I have no reason to think
I read your birth chart,
birth charts are accurate.
Okay, so if I read your birth chart and it does resonate, you could still say it's not true, even if it resonated, because it's still helping me understand you better. So if you want to not, you know what I'm saying? Like,
how does it relate to me, my personality at all? How does it know anything about me? The chart can go fuck itself.
The chart can go fuck itself, but I'm not gonna do it. Like, I'm not gonna fuck that chart. The chart is sacred to me.
Why should you believe anything about me from the chart?
Because it's based off of your exact location when you were born. It's based off your parents. It's based off of your family lineage. All that plays a role.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's proven. I haven't proven it. I don't have information to tell you or data to tell you right now, like sources. But I know that your parents and their charts influence your chart as well.
How do you know that?
I don't have resources, but I know that that's something that is true.
Okay.
Like, I don't have sources that I can tell you, but I know that's true.
Well, I love conversations like this. Eric, do you come to the park often?
Kind of. We're out here. Oh, I remember you went.
Where you go?
I don't know.
Water, he'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
But
cool.
yeah, we're out here
Every day or so?
Not every day, probably once a week.
Well, we're going to try to be here often, and we'd love to give people one of these little puzzle pieces as a gift to help them think about the conversation, remember it, and potentially come back and get another piece.
I really don't like Taurus men because you guys are so hard to budge. I really would love to read your birth chart at some point. I feel like it'd be so funny.
Could you bring me a birth chart? And we
I
could
really
talk about it?
could. I really could. If you could, do you know what time you were born? Could you find that out?
I could find it out, yeah.
Here, you could take my number and I'll send it to you. And you could read it yourself and I wouldn't even have to say anything.
Well, I want to have more content and conversations with
Oh,
more
perfect.
people.
Okay.
If you see me again,
Okay, then maybe I will read it to you.
So I'd love for that to happen, and my information's on the card. You can contact me there.
Perfect.
I'll try to be here Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Wednesdays and Saturdays?
Yeah.
All right.
Around the same time. And feel free to take a puzzle piece if you want one. Come back and get another piece, and we can build out the whole set.
I want a yellow one.
And you can come back 2 more times, and we'll have the whole
feeling
thing.
Yellow today.
Love
Thank
it.
you. Are these stickers?
They are stickers, Street
Can I take
Epistemology
one?
stickers. Yeah, sure.
Yay, thank you. I think my friend wanted to talk. Friend, did you want to talk?
No, you're done.
We're good.
I got a water too. They're great water.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Eric. Appreciate the conversation.
Have a great day.
Thank you too.
Have a good one.
See ya. Bye.
I'll see you soon.
Bye.
I so wish I could keep my nails like yours.
Yeah.
I do too much boat fiberglass. My nails get all fucked up. Have a good one.
Thank you. Oh my. Astrology triggers the fuck out of me. Yes, you did. Oh my god. Zen. Zen. Oh man. I failed there. I failed.
I was only able to hear about 80% of that.
I got super triggered at the
You
end.
did?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I definitely want to watch that then.
Yeah. I told what did I say? I said the chart can go fuck itself.
Oh, shit. Oh, wow.
Oh my god.
So I need to decide whether I've only ever seen you triggered in a way that I remembered one other time,
Uh-huh.
and I'll have to decide when I review this video whether the other time or this one was bigger for me.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. What other
And by the way,
Yeah.
your 10 is like other people's 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
You're good.
didn't tell him to go fuck himself. I said the chart. I didn't say that.
That was just your internal thing.
Well, no, I said the chart can go fuck himself. Fuck itself.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and he just kept attributing personality things to me from the chart.
Uh-huh.
And it doesn't matter if I agree with them or not. It's a type of prejudice.
It is.
It's
Totally.
It's like star bigotry,
Yep.
which triggers me.
I hear you. I'm with you.